welcome to Navigating the 9 to 5. My name's Tess and I'll be your host for today. Today, we are talking about what to do if you're unhappy in your current job, but you're too worried about the market to leave it. So there is a huge amount of negative press out there around kind of what's happening in the market, how scary it is, how there's no jobs, all that sort of thing, which personally I don't buy into. See different episode around redundancy. There's a lot of negativity out there, but actually the reality of life is a little bit different, not just in relation to redundancy. Basically, there's huge opportunities out there. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked because that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about what to do in your current role if you are unhappy with what you're doing, but you're too worried about the market to leave. Because, yeah, there's a huge amount going on. And what I'm going to talk you through today is a 5-step process for you to follow to basically make a couple of changes that I can't lie, are going to change your life if you're unhappy at work. First of all, you need to remember this one thing, which is that you have the power to change this, and only you have the power to change this. But it's not your fault for forgetting. It's really easy to forget because we all get carried away blaming other people. And when it comes to kind of, making a cup of tea in the middle of your working day kind of thing and chatting to someone by the kettle, or when you have a drink after work kind of thing, you spend the majority, I certainly used to spend the majority of my time basically complaining about work or about the people at work or about like what was going on at work or about the fact that I didn't know what was going on at work or about the fact that I wanted to get promoted and I didn't and whatever. So basically, because everybody does it, it's really easy for us to kind of fall back into those habits. So try and kind of check in with yourself when you hear or feel yourself being negative about the situation, because this is a reminder and a wake-up call that every time you complain about it, you could be doing something about it instead, so you don't have to complain about it. So you can change this, but also only you can change this. And here's what you need to do. So this is a 5-step formula for you to follow. Number 1, take time to reflect on what you love and what you're good at. And you can answer a couple of questions to help you do that. Things like, what are you good at? What do you love to do? What is your experience in? What have you spent the majority of your working life doing? What did you used to love to do when you were younger? Did you have hobbies? Did your friends come to you with like particular questions or problems to solve or things to do together? Think about what are your favourite parts of your current role and why. Think about what are your least favourite parts of your current role and why. And start to build a little bit of a picture around kind of who you are and what you love. That's point 1. Get really specific. Sorry. Point number 1, take time to reflect. Sorry. Point number 2 is get really specific. And this is get really specific on what it is about your current role that you don't like. So is it the people? Is it the place? Is it the job itself? Whatever it is, if you say yes to one of those things, what is it specifically about the job? Is it the whole of the job? Is it every single thing that you do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis that you hate? Or is it actually that you love 50% of it and you hate 50% of it? Or is it that actually you love 75% of it, but the 25% of it that you don't like, you really, really, really hate? And that's absolutely fine. Whatever the answer is, just become aware of that, but also try and dig into why it is that you dislike it. Is it because you find that work really hard, or is it because it works with a team that you don't like, or is it because I don't know, for whatever reason you just find the work really hard? I'm trying to forgotten ideas there. Whatever it is, or is it that the current role that you do means that you don't have space to do enough of the stuff that you want to do? So one of the questions that I get asked really regularly is things like, basically, I'm busy doing all the doing in my current role. How do I stop doing that in order to do some of the thinking as well and the strategic piece as well? So if that sounds like you, then literally just write all those things down and take a little bit of time to reflect on it. Sit down in a quiet place and literally just write it down. Then we get to number 3. Of the bits of your role that you don't love, what can you delegate, automate, or outsource? And in order to make space for the stuff that we do want to do, we need to get rid of or work out what we can get rid of. So, what can you delegate to a more junior member of the team? Which bits of your role have you kind of outgrown, but actually, when you first started, it was really important to help you learn what it is that you do? What can you automate? What's a menial, repetitive task which any AI platform can do? And it's a massive hint there. You can probably automate about 90% of your job, which is a really scary thought. This isn't here to scare you. This is just to kind of get you thinking about it. What can you automate? So anything, any kind of repetitive tasks. If you do things like reporting on a weekly basis, I come from a marketing background. Every Monday morning we used to do reporting on kind of how campaigns were performing, all that sort of thing, how the website was doing, all that sort of stuff. If you do reporting and things like that, you can probably automate 99% of that. What can you automate? Have a think about that, what it is that you do. What can you outsource? And the last piece, what can you actually stop doing? So I used to do loads of stuff that it was because it was that time of year. We were like, oh, it's that time of year again. We better do this project, this magazine, this whatever it was, this, deliver this thing because it's that time of year. But actually, is it still appropriate to do that? Is that still in line with your objectives? Is it still kind of moving the business forward? So again, there's things that you're doing, take a bit of time to get really clear on what you can do with the bits that you don't love. Number four, we write this into a proposal. So write these steps up into kind of a table or a list of things that you want to do more or less of, and your recommendation of what to do with them. So for example, in the first column on the left-hand side, you're going to want to list all the tasks of your current role. And then as you go kind of the sort of next columns along can be kind of what you can automate, what you can delegate, what you can outsource, what you can stop doing. And you can sort of write things across in that table as to why you think these pieces should be either delegated, automated, outsourced, or stop doing. And then five, and this is where the magic happens, you take that proposal to discuss with your manager. So this shows a really professional approach. It shows that you've been thinking like a leader because you've discovered a problem and you've solved it. So the problem is that you don't enjoy these bits of what you're doing anymore. And you've come up with specific solutions because you're going to delegate, automate, or outsource things. And these things, importantly, this is what your manager will care about. These things will make the team more efficient because they will be happier, they'll be better at their job, they'll be faster at their job because you've automated a load of stuff, and they'll actually get to do and spend time on the more important, high quality, high impact work. So, that, my friends, is your 5-step process. If you don't love what you do right now, if you're really unhappy at work, but you feel too nervous or too anxious or too worried to kind of put yourself out in the job market, this is what you need to do. What I would say is if you're super unhappy, like really unhappy for reasons other than the job itself, like if it's a cultural thing, if it's a people thing, there's probably something to be done around the communication there. Like, don't necessarily just sort of quit your job. But what I would say is before you quit your job, obviously, line something up. So the market can be tricky. It feels like it is tricky at the moment. So let's play it safe. Let's do this 5-step process. But then if you know that you really don't want to be there for the long term, then also put some feelers out there and start, asking recruiters or, having a look on LinkedIn jobs and all that sort of stuff. What else is out there, or Indeed, or whatever it is. I forget which platforms people use these days. But then also what you can do is you can use essentially this kind of proposal that you just put together as the sort of bare bones of a job description. And then that is going to help you go with clarity to the recruiter. And that's also taking aligned action. It's also kind of putting it out there to the universe that this is what you want, this is what you're here for, and put a figure on it as well. If you want to pay a rise, put that up, put a number on it to the recruiter and see what they come back with and take it from there. So that, my friends, is your 5-point plan. Go ahead, go for it. It's not as scary as it seems out there. FYI, that's a separate topic. But if you're feeling like this right now, then go and do those things. Brill. If you enjoyed that, thank you so much for being here, whether you were listening or watching. Hi, nice to have you. And yeah, hopefully see you next time. Did I say like and subscribe? Please like and subscribe. That would be nice. I don't really know how this works. Depends on what platform you're on, but if you could, that would be really helpful. Thanks so much. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.